Historic Preservation Commission, and we are regularly meeting now, not special meetings, so that is one thing we can check off our list. Yay. All right, for roll call, we are missing Barbara. So we'll proceed without her, and if she comes in late, we'll just catch her up. So since we are having regular meetings, I'm going to ask for approval of the agenda, but we can suggest additions to the agenda too, since it's not in stone as a special meeting. So if you have a minute to look over the agenda, and if I can get a motion for approval.
I move that we accept the agenda as written.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It passes. So next will be approval of our April 14th minutes.
I did not get the farmer's market ones in there. I apologize. I'll have those in for the next one. I mean, it'll just be a sentence, but we have to
Officially adopt
official,
them.
but
Okay.
Oh, the farmer's market minutes,
yeah,
okay.
I didn't, I know it's only a sentence, but I didn't get it done.
It's all right.
Didn't get it done.
Okay, I move we accept the minutes as written.
I second that, even though my name is misspelled only one time, but I'm just impressed it's only once. So.
Whoa, where is it misspelled?
Well, because it's I don't know, on page 1 at the bottom, action item 3.C, Kirsten with an IN, but it's so. I was like, who's that?
And spell check won't
I know when
catch
I know
that.
I have a silly name because it sounds like a first name anyway. So I thought we had a new Kirsten on.
That,
I'll fix it.
It's okay. I was impressed that was the only time. So because then I started looking for it. Was there a motion to approve?
there was a motion to approve.
And I seconded with yeah.
Okay, without amendments. So all in favor? Aye. It passes unanimously. Oops. Okay, action items. So some of these discussion points are old, but I think as we continue to work on them throughout the year, we'll just keep them on the list. So in case there are any differences, changes, or updates, we can at least go over those. So for the 100-year property recognition, we do have a request, and that was made at the farmers markets from a property at 3221 North Dale. So the family came up and said, oh, we have an old property. So Lisa looked it up. It definitely fits the bill, so we can make that award to them. But the question was that in a previous meeting we talked about presenting it to them in person, maybe getting a picture as opposed to put it in the mail. Is that something we still want to do? And if so, does anybody want to volunteer to make that presentation?
Do you want to walk it over there and take photos with the family?
Honestly, I'd love to. Curious as to what house it is.
What's the address?
3221.
Dale.
Do we have their contact information that we can email them to set up a time that we don't know they will be home?
I don't have,
We could just
but
have a
it's
picture of us dropping it off.
I have the information for the house. I put it in, where did I put it? Did I give it to you? I did.
yes.
No, that's the
Oh,
owner.
30,
The owner's
what was that,
name
31?
somewhere, and the address should be. We'll put the address.
3221.
Does it not have your name on the top?
Well, I know it's Katie Hoffman.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Aaron and Katie.
Go check it out.
And they're a younger couple, like 30s
Yes.
with young
Kids,
kids.
so, yeah.
You know how that goes.
We don't have phone numbers for people, and they didn't email me. Was it you, Annie, that emailed me about them?
Or maybe I
someone.
did.
You might have,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we don't have phone numbers for them. That's not
Drop the card.
typically how we.
good to have in the letter, like, please feel free to submit a photo of yourself with the stickers.
That would be good, yeah.
Um,
Might be more uniform if we do it, just like.
Mail
Stick
it.
it on our phones, it'd be fine.
We could mail it and ask them for a photo op.
That would be great if we could ask them. We're so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And then we'll just casually walk by often. Try to catch them outside.
Okay, well, that sounds good, because I think we have a letter that'll go through my records. I think I did a letter for if we mailed this, but maybe not.
It might be, yeah.
But I could, and then I'll send that to you, and you can put this in the mail.
Yeah.
And, yeah, if you keep it on your radar that that's the address, and if you just happen to be by and they're out there, or you see this in their.
Right, exactly. That's what I was thinking. If we see it in their window, hey, we've got small children too.
But, yeah, this is the property, if you want to pass that around. So it
So
doesn't
in
have.
your letter, you wanna,
and-
ask for a photo op, or ask them to contact us if they would like to do a photo op, something?
I think
about
so.
that? Perfect, okay.
This is something to celebrate.
And then we can maybe put it like we could even maybe put it in the newsletter.
That would be awesome.
That'd be good publicity for it. I'm so glad. Thank you for being at the farmer's market to have caught that, gotten that out.
Yeah.
There's one other gentleman, Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph
House.
Meriden. So when we get to the local register, we can talk about that, because he had some requests for assistance.
I have another one, I found just.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Well, you guys go ahead.
So this, I think, this would be our third request for a decal.
Cool.
And if she's got another one. But it builds on itself, and it could be an ongoing program.
It as each home ages into, more homes will enter every year.
That is true. And I know
This was given to me like just after our April meeting, and I had it pinned to the wall and I forgot about it.
okay.
But the site does not say that, so I don't know. He was sent that in because he wanted to say the age, but I believe the assessor site says something different.
So it's a request by Todd Beasy that the corner door
Oh,
be included in the 100-year. And the Spokane, it's got a copy of the Spokane Valley Herald for April 17th, 1925 that talks about the building. But we just need to do a check to make sure that it really was 1925.
I think I looked before and it didn't say that, but I'm gonna have to look again.
Okay.
do you know what year that building?
Oh, corner? I think it's like 1909.
So yeah, we'll look into that. and
No,
then-
it says year built 1931 is what it says on the assessor site. So I don't know how else you check that. I'm not saying the assessor site is the end all be all, as we
We
know.
would check like first primary sources, right, or secondaries, secondaries.
Some of the assessors data is not good. I would believe the newspaper before I believe that
It says new business on the block,
it's pretty, you're not.
And it has a photo.
and it has a photo, and it has the date 1925.
They'll take it.
Would there be a way that we can have like I mean, this is, I don't imagine they doctored this.
No, I trust.
Yeah, exactly. So do we,
Bobby would have a lot to say about the assessor's side, I'm sure, so.
is there a way that we can update that, or do we say based on in the documentation provided?
I don't think we set any parameters that would prohibit any property if they showed some type of proof, so I'm not opposed to just going ahead with it. But if somebody wants to look at like one more thing, I don't know if anybody knows their way around those fire maps to see.
usually find what I'm after.
So what are they? What?
Sanborn maps.
Sanborn. Yes. Okay,
Fun stuff.
fun stuff.
And the owners would probably, I'm sure they have.
Doing quite a
tons
bit of reading about
documentation.
that building. I thought it predated 1925, so.
I wouldn't be surprised because it looks.
It looks like it was
Like it was
completely
been there for a
built.
while.
Yeah.
1925.
I wonder if there's also like a cornerstone or something on that. No.
I bet there's evidence somewhere in there. You could probably figure it out pretty easily though, due to like product or something. Wiring.
I wonder if the garage was built in 1931 or something. If that's where they maybe pulled another date from. Like that, because I know that site has an old garage on the back of it too. But that's a separate building.
I'll check.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure I would like that. To me, is enough documentation. But yeah, I would love to. I would feel comfortable approving on that, but I don't know.
Out of curiosity, I guess I'll wander the Sanborn map and see if I can come up with something else. Just initially when we moved over here, I remember just out of curiosity reading about that building and found a pretty good amount of information somewhere. So I'll try to find it again.
Okay.
We could also reach out to him and be like, "Do you have another piece of?"
I know Bobby's probably got a whole file.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well,
Just take 2 minutes and we'll handle it, so we should move on.
okay. But in that case, is the consensus is that we can approve it, but maybe wait for 2 weeks, and if you find something in the maps that just verifies it, if you could email Lisa and then just give her the go-ahead to create the certificate and the decal, and we'll get it to Todd.
I think with the Sanborn map, what'll probably be on that thing for the most part is probably the paper mill and maybe any railroad building that was here at the time. It's probably not much.
Woodard's house. There were some houses, a couple of houses.
Right, and then, I know Colleen, we're looking at 75
for a house, but
year and,
yeah, well, and I'm just realizing because we now have a business. We now are in the 3201 and 322 Argonne, and I think those also would qualify for the 100 year. So
Somebody told me how old that building was.
I guess we should.
Up there.
Can we submit as on behalf as just the business, or would we get our landlord to submit?
if you can get your landlord
Okay,
to submit.
we'll
that'd
do
be
all the
great.
paperwork.
If you can, or if you can find any other, I don't know. Again, we didn't have criteria.
Okay.
That leads me into the next. I also had a call from the business owner about the certificate, but I didn't know how you guys were gonna work that as far as that's his name and number from Legacy Barbershop
Oh yeah.
on Euclid, and I didn't know how that was gonna work as far as the business owner requesting it or the property owner. I didn't know what you guys would, so I didn't really know how to
Yeah.
answer it.
Because
But
our
I told him someone would contact him, so that's why I printed it out, so
Okay,
one of you could maybe,
lease does allow us to put like our lease allows us to put stickers or decals in the front window. So
Barbara.
hi.
hey, it's all right.
We're happy to have you. I think it would be nice to have businesses have it, then that way it's like increasing awareness.
And we said that in the letter that we sent out to the historic district. If you were a resident or a business, then we would welcome it. So,
I just have this image of a property owner coming in going, tear that thing down. That's not gonna happen.
No. And besides, that would be between the business and the landlord anyway, so I don't see that having anything to do with the commission. That's the business's choice to put it up or not.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I would
Okay.
be fine with you guys requesting one on behalf of the business. And I think we can go ahead and, or do you want
is that one old enough? I don't even know if it is.
9013 East?
that's on that strip.
What's the year?
We don't have the year, but it's 9013 East Euclid.
It's with all the,
Right. I like this little strip
Side.
mall.
And I know Kodiak, well, they're further down. Yeah,
44.
What is it again? 9013?
9013 East Euclid.
addressing is weird over there. It doesn't always translate onto a real address. So, okay, so that's next to Markey. So it would be this one, I think.
Did he happen to mention the year? It was, okay.
Okay. I think, so is that this, is it in this one, Chris? Is that where it's at? Is that part? Because it's not,
It's like Beauty Shop Road.
90013 is not a address here because all of those are in one parcel. The address on here is 90015, or 9015. It's JC Properties that owns this whole section there.
No.
This is
He
Markey
is in this one.
here, or no, this one, it must be this
Well,
one.
that, yeah, that's
It's
what I was
this one.
gonna say.
Okay, 9009. Because this is Markey here.
No, that's that woman's
So
shop.
it's in this
So that's the
range.
share. It's all-
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever, let's
Separate
see, then we can look at.
This is,
Alright.
what we're using,
That's
Todd
what
asked for the
it's
corner door to get a decal.
So
And the assessor site says that the building was built 1931. He's found this,
1951.
this article that says 1925, so that's why he wants, so that should be valid. So now we're like getting into this
So that's
area.
what this says, so.
The assessor site isn't accurate. Anyway, so they asked if there was other documentation. I'm sure Bobby has all kinds.
Yeah, she must.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah, that's a,
If
that's
it
a
would,
real
yeah,
file.
if it's, cause it sounds like it's closer to 75 years.
1950.
Yeah.
1951.
So that would be almost 75 years, so we could respond, like, we could say it doesn't qualify yet, but if we move forward on the 75-year one too.
How far off is it from Paul?
construction on that
It's from
could
70
probably
it's
suggest
74.
40s or 50s.
Oh, let's send them one.
We don't
We
have
can't
one.
get a 100-year one, and we don't have a 75-year one.
Not yet.
No, that's what we'll tell them, that we're in the process of creating. So by the time you are 75 years, we'll be sure to have it for you. That's good
I
stuff.
would say that it doesn't qualify for the 100-year, but we
No,
are
but
looking
75.
into a 75-year. Yeah, it's in the row that there could be properties that are
All of
older, but
We were thinking
This
that
is
the
a
white,
newer-
the one that they just painted white on the corner might be
She
the
got a stern worded letter.
older one.
Margie's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sent her some information about painting on brick. Anytime you wanna check out the Historic Preservation Society. Was that outside? I'm just waiting for the crashing to start.
oh,
Margie's is 1929.
Okay, so hers is
Okay.
close.
closer, but not, still not.
Don't paint it, Rick. Here, have a sticker.
But it's great that there's been some interest generated for
Yeah.
stuff, so that's.
And it creates opportunities to actually discuss how old their
Batteries are.
now you know.
Any other discussion on that?
I was looking for the list of, if Christina had started a list, I only have one person. And I think actually I started this list. I just wondered if you guys wanted to have a list. I thought that might be good of who you've given decals to, but I don't know
Yes.
who all you've given them to at this point before this.
Corrado's,
They didn't request a decal though, did they?
it's in her window.
Oh,
Yeah, I was about to say, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, you can see it.
That's 3018.
33. We shouldn't try to guess. I could, check.
That's okay, I can get it later. It's not a big deal.
3319.
And then the year built, so Nacarado,
Is
And
the
then
house
you've got
next door to that
Hoffman's.
is sold also?
the Hoffmans. And then there's that guy that's over there by
Probably
the
it's a
park.
Butler house. Was that?
Is that-
Judy's old house was
The same guy, Joseph?
Yeah, that was about her house.
That was one of the first
Could be.
ones.
And that just sold, it might be worth reaching out to them.
Well, his
Yeah, he has a
Definitely
sticker, the
addressed
guy
it.
that's right across, the
he's
airplane
been
guy.
lobbying for resource places he thought there, so.
Is that
he's very
9212
I don't know
Frederick?
what the address is off the top of my head.
3315.
I was just gonna look, it's gonna bug me until.
Is that 3315?
18?
18.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe to wrap up the 75 conversation, if that's something we could discuss about putting into the budget for next year. And I would say just the cost of the stickers to get those printed.
Is there a record of the decals that we had done? Because those were made for free, right? There was a.
They were designed for free, and then I think made with like a sticker monkey or whatever.
Sticker mule.
Sticker mule.
I would propose to go through Minuteman Express. That's up on around the corner because they could probably get us a better deal.
Okay. Because they're very inexpensive once you have the design.
So it'd be a nice line item to put in. I would say to table that conversation until we start having a budget conversation for next year.
Perfect. So yes, we do want to keep a list of recipients. I think we were also talking about maybe if we had an intern or someone that knows how to do website that, we could even have a little map where we can put information about the properties and who requested a sticker. But again, we'd need a lot more properties to probably join that and make it more interesting.
I think that is him, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. I'd have to look. Oh, I could look. I could look at the. I can't look.
Maybe the way we get an intern is by actually, I would volunteer to manage the
That is him.
like a city intern, and then they could help like with meetings and things like this. Technology. Internships are great.
That's another conversation.
No,
we could
I know
have
that's not a.
with the,
That's under our outreach.
yes, there we go. All right. So next item is the historic district street signage and we're looking at design, public works response to putting them up, and budgeting. So I don't know if there's,
So is this the Public Works response?
I think
Signed
so.
by Matt.
What? No, that's not Matt, our Matt. That's the lighting. That's Matt Gillis from Welch County Engineers.
So this is the example of what.
That is, my understanding is that is what has been ordered.
Okay.
Okay, so not yet.
Well, it looks like if we wanted to do like basically the metal bracket and a sign off of that, like on the other side of the light, there would be room to do a type of signage like that. So now that we know kind of how the structure is, I can go back and make sure all of the options align with being able to be installed on a pole like this. And then move it forward to see what the budget would be, because I think keeping it low cost. So the metal band with like a mounted sign, I think would probably be the lowest cost and easiest way to get it up.
and then being strategic on where
And how
we
many,
put them
yeah.
and how many. So
And then that way we at least have a number to be like, this is how much it would cost to get the signs produced.
and then we could go to Public Works and present.
And maybe if budget is a concern, after we go to Public Works, I would say, I would love to contact the businesses that are right in that area, cause, and like the folks at the Mason Temple. So contacting all those folks and seeing if there might be interest in helping raise funds to make it happen.
That would be great. Now, there's another, the Main Street program, which is later in the agenda that I'll talk about, and this could tie in with that.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're okay with doing that, I think having a little bit better idea and a budget that we could present, that would be great. Lisa, you heard from Public Works staff any more about they hate that idea, they don't think it can be done, there's some code against it?
We have not been talking about much else.
Just think that out there.
I think as long as it's small enough and like it's something that we're just like,
Yeah, we just keep.
just add it in.
I was surprised I got a response from Matt Gillis. I was like, okay, I sent him an email. I wasn't expecting a response, but I did get one. I was surprised.
That is good. It's
Very
fun.
very verbose response.
Yeah.
And I think we can always pull that centennial card out of our
Right.
back pocket. It's like, we're looking towards the centennial of the city.
Well, if you're gonna put in all this effort to make it easier for people to drive through Argonne and they're not slowing down as much, maybe we need to make sure we're catching their eye so the local businesses don't suffer.
There you go.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Any further discussion on that? If not, we will move to outreach events, kind of a recap. So Annie or Barbara, were you at the Mother's Day walking tour for the?
I was the docent at Vicky's house at the Rosebush house on Saturday morning. And then I did the tour on Sunday, because if you're a volunteer, you get to go for free, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep in touch with the MAC so I can do it next year. Because it was really fun to get to go in and see everything, but it was so crowded. And I thought there were thousands of people. There were 899 paid tickets, and then plus volunteers. So there were a lot of people. It wasn't thousands, but maybe 1,000. And it was really, really fun. Getting to see I think a lot of times people notice the modern upgrades as much as the historic elements. In the Nacarato's house, in the Rosebush house, one of the most fascinating things was the fuse box, the old fuse box that was in the kitchen. People would stick around their heads around the corner, and there were like 14 different fuses, and then one of the pull-down things that people would be like, "Oh, we had that in Grandma's house," or "We have that in our house," or a lot of nostalgia. A lot of electricians wanted to take a picture of it, which you're not supposed to do, but my head was turned, so I don't know. And it really was, just constantly people moving, big long lines outside of of each house. And then, did you go to the Masonic Lodge?
No, I was out of town.
Oh, that's right. So I didn't make it over there, but they were, displays and historic displays and things over there, from what I heard.
Yeah, Bobby said that maybe over the 2 days, only 30 or 40 people came through to look at the pictures, but they all stayed a long time. They were very interested in the picture displays.
And the Rosebush house, they had some poster boards outside. That kind of was one of the reasons for the slow moving lines, because people did stop to look at them. So there was just a lot of talking about the different aspects of the houses, and it was, and the MAC did such a great job with just managing the whole thing. So it was great.
Okay, in the past, I know they've created a booklet that was like the ticket
There was
that
a
also
booklet.
gave the
You did want to
history.
ask me about for the booklet. I have
Right,
that. Yeah.
if we're able to, get a chance to look at a copy, or if you
Yeah,
know of other ways that we might get a copy for our archives or records.
I have it out on my table, and I just couldn't remember who wanted it.
Okay.
So, because I talked to a lot of people, so I'll get you one for sure.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing that someone like Bobby vetted that information so that it was historically accurate. I mean, the dates and
yes.
everything was so that it can be referred to or referenced for people maybe doing donations or signage or something like that. So.
And then thanks to Lisa, we had all the equipment we needed for the May 28th Farmers Market.
Yes.
And the crew, what's the name of the crew that brought the stuff down? And they said it by the time I got there, which was like 1:25.
Yeah, that was Bryce and Sam.
Bryce
and Sam.
and
set
Sam,
it up.
please thank them for us, because
Yes,
they
I
were
will.
lifesavers.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
And then we set everything up, and we had just off and on. We had a lot of slow walkers come by and talk and see us, and then we had some people actually, as Chris was saying, want to talk to us and talk about their houses too, so it was, I think it was worth doing, but tear down was a nightmare. Things are so heavy, and if it hadn't, we had to ask for help. Thank goodness for Kyler, Todd's grandson, that helped us haul stuff back here. So I won't be able to do it again, but we did reserve a second time, but I wouldn't be able to do that.
What's the date for the next one?
We haven't set a date. There
Yeah.
are dates potentially that we could do another one even later in the market.
On the application, I put, the next one was in July for everything Millwood. I think that's even some special
That
event.
was a theme.
And then there was, and that's the theme. But, like I said, we reserved it with them, but.
But yeah, and it was free of cost, but there was a lot of personal time and energy invested in setting that up and tearing it down, and would it. Plus, if we do the farmer's market, we're not doing a regular meeting, so what's more important to the commission to keep proceeding with the business of these meetings, or take the month off and do a farmer's market, which could be a substitute meeting. But I agree with Annie, the takedown, and I think a lot of that was because it was a double canopy, so it was like a 20 by 10 with 6 legs, which each had a 25-pound sandbag on it.
Yes, and we had a plan to do a smaller one. Kyle had a smaller one at home, and my note to them said that, but somehow it got crossed up in the, didn't get relayed. Anyway, so I had talked to them in the morning about this one, and then this other thing came up at the middle of the day, and I wrote a note for that. Obviously, they didn't see my note, and so they had it all, and they were Johnny on the spot getting it done instead of dragging their feet if they weren't so efficient.
And also, they were at a meeting with was it planning commission?
Oh.
Yes, we had a planning commission
So,
meeting that
and
night.
also, they would have had to be paid overtime if they had helped us with the takedown. So, just thinking ahead to next year, if we made that a budget item and say we're gonna go twice and we need to pay, allocate overtime for people to help us take down, because they were so lickety split. I mean, they were so efficient, but we were not as efficient. And and
I don't
also
know
it
that
was,
could be a budget item.
I don't know if it can either.
okay.
Yeah, for staffing.
I don't know.
I just threw it out there just to see if we
I'm
could
not
talk
the
about budget.
budgeter person. I'm the paper shuffler.
Barbara, did you talk to people during your shift? It seems like there was some,
Not specifically about, they just kind of walked by and
yeah.
said hello, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was 4 hours of
Yeah.
we getting two contacts. And a lot of people that lived over the river. So yeah, they were on the other side. They weren't
Right.
in the city of Millwood, though they felt that they were Millwood people.
Yeah.
They loved Millwood history. They wanted to stop and look at the pictures and stuff. But when we asked them where they lived, it's like, oh yeah, Northwood. Oh yeah. Northwood.
No, we should just expand Millwood. We should just do a takeover of Northwood or some of these other areas.
Greater Millwood.
Greater Millwood,
Fellowship.
yeah. There you go.
But is there any plans, Lisa, of doing a city staff booth at Millwood Days in August?
I believe there will be one for planning for the periodic update. Amanda has to do an outreach for the periodic update, one of the requirements for that. As far as that'll be the only thing that I'm aware of that will be at that one that I know of.
Would there be staff assigned to helping set that up and tear that down if we joined as a preservation commission?
I believe so, because I believe it is that doing Millwood Days is a part of the grant for the periodic update, has been in the budget for that. Now, that I don't know. I mean, I'd have to, I guess, I mean, I'm just gonna be there, but I don't know. I have to ask.
Because that is something that we've done in the past, that there's been the city canopy and we've just, I think they found another small one that we were just like right next to it or across the road from it with our preservation display up. And
Yeah,
then we just take turns doing a couple hour shifts and
and Millwood
catching
Days is
people.
what day this year?
23rd, I believe.
so that could be an alternative to doing another
Yeah,
farmer's market.
yeah, I was hoping that the consistency of us being there would be, you know, a positive thing, but just don't see that happening.
Thinking about like other community events that I've seen in my short time here, city events. Lisa, do you know if was the projector that the movie screen that they used to do, like the city would do movies in the park? Do you know if that is something that the city owned or,
Yes,
so is that something that the city still owns?
yes.
Because I know that those events bring out a lot of the local community, and that's something that I know we would be very open to setting up and helping tear down because we would be there. We would attend this event. Like it would be nice to sponsor a movie night. We could even play like the historic videos kind of beforehand as like a previews thing. And
Show-
then
we show
show a
historic
movie,
movies.
yeah, like some sort of old movie that people enjoy,
1941.
yeah. To kind of do like a
Both
fun
ways.
little event. I know our family in particular, like I know there's several families who are like, why we want the movies in the park? Yeah, that was
that's
a really
right.
fun event, and so that seems like that could maybe be a low cost budget item that we could do a fun little event. We wanted to look into doing something like that.
And I know whenever you show a movie to the public, there's some royalty fee, but maybe partnering with the library because they have so many of those that they can show.
Especially
their
since
license.
we won't be charging for the event.
Right, and
Yeah.
we're non.
I'd be happy to reach out to the library and see if they wanted to
Okay.
do something like
We
that.
want to explore that. Be another fun summer event.
And then I got to meet the lovely individuals of the Model T Driving Club Association. They brought, many of them gathered in the church parking lot a week ago, and we're giving out free rides to ride around Millwood. And it was so much fun. I mean, I got a little car sick. Those things are pretty bumpy. But it was so much fun, and it would be so cool if we had some sort of historic event to invite them out and make sure that they were aware of it, because one guy that was leading us around had no idea about Millwood, so it was fun to exchange history. But that would be kind of, since they're doing it in the area anyway,
Yeah.
to connect with them as like
That was something
yeah.
that we could be sponsored by the Historic Preservation Commission.
Where was that? Yeah,
just in the church parking lot.
church parking lot.
Yeah, and it was just like 9 to noon, free rides.
So that someone at the church might know where that would reach them.
Yeah, I followed them on Facebook.
Oh,
so
good.
I
Perfect.
yeah, we can reach out to them.
That's great.
Maybe the library will have an old movie with an old car, and we can
Yeah.
make it into a fun
Like
little
a
night.
Buster Keaton
Yeah.
car chases and stuff like that. Trains. Yeah, I think any opportunity we have just to raise awareness of the commission and the topic of preservation in a positive way is great, as long as it's low or no cost and physically not too demanding for what we're able to do. But I love those ideas. It's very creative. All right, moving on. So the next item is resource guide edits and additions. So I know we've talked about the resource guide for several meetings. We had the last edits that were submitted before the first part of the deadline, May. I think I just rewrote the introduction. You had opportunity to read through. I heard back from Colleen and Annie that all looked fine. We did have the addition addition of the glass, also from Colleen. And I can see that just fitting nicely back in the, kind of the section where we talk about glass and windows.
You get so many, I mean, I hear from a lot of people that want this now. So the need is urgent, and there are people who want to make decisions based on what's in here. So when can we publish it? When can it be?
Well, that was the thought, that if everybody was good with the edits and everybody was good with the addition of the glass, then is, I think the copy that Lisa has, that she printed out, is probably the most current. Because I know at first, Annie, you were doing all of the, kind of keeping the most current draft.
I don't have this draft. This is
Okay.
only- all I'd have to do is just accept, if I had the thing, just the file, just to accept changes.
Well, it might be faster,
I did email everyone that, it's in the
but this was
packet.
in the packet.
Right.
That was in the packet,
Oh,
and it
that's
was on
right.
email form, and
It's
it
a
was in paper.
PDF, it's a
Yeah,
PDF, so I would be able to, I need a
Yes.
Word version.
it's there to everyone. Oh.
So to accept changes, or is
Oh,
that something
okay.
that you're able to do? Do you have this in a Word document that you can just go through, accept changes?
I'd have to convert it to a Word document. I don't have
I'll
it.
just
but-
save it as a Word document.
Yes, I have, I mean, I have the document, so I can do that.
Good.
And
But it has
then,
to go to legal review
Yep.
first.
but if we had the, if you were able to do all the accepting and then insert that glass.
I don't know, is the glass section
I
in
think
there?
the glass is in there.
I
And the
don't think it-
windows.
There is a glass section,
Where was that, the email?
but not the new paragraph that Colleen submitted.
Okay, so that would go, so that's in Colleen's email.
Do you want me to just send you it, the thing, and you can put it where you
Sure.
want it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be
All right.
good. And that'll actually push
Is that what you're-
roofs and roofing down to the next page, so that's good. That'll take care of that little orphan.
Annie, are you doing the update?
Am I doing what?
Did they say that you were, who's putting in the,
I'll put in the
Okay.
last paragraph
okay.
and I'll do the accept changes. Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, good.
And then if that, when you have that final version, if you could save that, send it to Lisa. Lisa needs to take it to legal, and it's
Right.
gotta be approved by legal before we can post it on the website and start using it.
And then and then possibly, we'll see what Brian says, I don't know if it needs to be approved by council as well. So, I know it's legal for sure.
Where is Brian? Do we ever hear from
Brian?
our trustee
I see him once
liaison
a,
with staff?
I see him once a month, I'll see you tomorrow.
Can you tell him hi, that we miss him?
Oh, here? Oh, yeah, you're never gonna see him again. Yeah, that landed squarely.
Back to you.
Uh-huh. Yes.
So we will get that done, hopefully it'll be approved, we can get it posted in digital format, we can talk about making a few hard copies that can just be here at City Hall for people that don't have access to computer. We could start promoting it when it's done, we can promote it in our newsletter, city newsletter that goes out with utility bills.
We had the new newsletter is, if you have anything you would like to put in there, I need that by July 2nd, end of day. I have to compile everything July 3rd, the 4th we're off, and we will do bills on 7th, so that Monday, so we need to get that ready to go. You have anything
July 2nd.
for that?
Sounds like something is eating the
Here
street.
it comes. I'm just really curious how my life is gonna change, you know, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
can't get there from here.
No.
How are you gonna get, well, just come down from Trent?
I have to take Market now, Market and Trent,
Oh, yeah.
because I live up north.
Okay, come, you Trent and then I'm here. Okay.
That's why I came this morning.
And June 18th is the hearing about the roundabout.
17th, is it June 17th is the, I thought there's like a public,
Yeah, it's a public meeting by the library.
Oh, the roundabout up there?
About the roundabout, yeah. They're gonna have to take out, roundabouts are big. There's some small, like one lanes, but there's some that are like really big.
All right.
you know, go around them,
Yeah.
the big semis.
Any other discussion on the resource guide or we're set? Okay, so moving on to local register. And so we did have a request at the farmer's market from Joseph Meriden, who lives over here at 9212 East Frederick, that he would like to list his property on the local register. He said he's talked to people before about it and they were gonna help him, but I can't remember him ever coming to us. So I don't know if there was somebody else he's talked to, or maybe he was thinking of the decal. But that did bring up the conversation, is that there might be people who own properties that would be interested in listing them on our local register, but don't have the expertise or the time to really dig in to create the nomination. And we as commissioners can't do it for them because there's a conflict of interest when it comes before us to vote for approval or not. So I didn't know if anybody had any thoughts about ways that, you know, we could identify people that might be able to help residents creating a nomination form. Secondly, and Annie brought this to my attention, that on our website, the link that was supposed to take people to the fillable forms
It's
is
fixed.
broken, but it is fixed.
Yay,
Okay,
okay, so it's the actual nomination form now.
It is, and it was on in another section, it was
Oh,
there.
no.
Well, it was under historic, there's two places to get to there, but under the forms and that, for some reason, it was not, it was going to the guidelines. I don't know.
Okay.
It is fixed.
So we've got them up there,
Good.
so we can direct people to the website to download the forms. But
So,
if they need assistance, is there someone who could help them?
well, I'm thinking of a couple of people, but they would be able to get on the website, print out the form, sit with the person. I mean, I know a couple who would love to do that, that are not on the commission. You know.
Yeah, that would be great to reach out to like that might be, yeah, the Friends, the historic group,
Yeah,
and see if that's
history
something,
enthusiasts.
yeah, yeah, and see if that's something that they would be interested in participating with.
Well, Barbara kind of is the leader of that. We could ask if someone would volunteer. Someone,
As a,
history enthusiasts.
to see if there's someone there who's familiar enough with the process.
I'm thinking there probably isn't there, but I know of a couple of old timers who've been on the commission before who probably would be happy to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
that makes sense.
Another, in addition to that, because I'm involved with the schools and everything, I think, and we've talked before about possibly trying to get connected with the high school. That might be a good way to connect with the high school and say, you know, this is an area that our community needs help with. This is an active part of being part of the historic preservation. It gets them aware of, because I know there's always like that one local history class that you have to focus on like local history. So that could be a good project for that class. Or reaching out to like any of the area colleges like SFCC, SCC, if they have any cultural resource management classes that folks would need something to put on their resume to look good.
Yeah, I think any of those, you know, if we had a
Places where you
contacts that, and then once we had those confirmed, then we could also add that piece to the website saying, need help filling this out. You know, at least contact us, we can put them in contact with
Right.
whichever volunteer that might work best or be most available at the time.
Would it be useful to make like a YouTube video of the form and talking?
Like how to fill it out.
for people who would access the website, the person that we had talked to, he's like, he's not into websites, not into computers, yeah. Which is gonna be the case with a percentage of the
is helping
people
people
who want it.
getting them through. the
Because we can
nomination
have
process, 'cause they don't wanna do
posted
all the work.
the approved nominations for the Rosebud and the
There's the letter we sent.
Kodiak building. I mean, our two properties, we could have those nomination forms as, people can use as examples.
Are those on the
But-
website as examples? I think they were.
I think they,
Rosebush House nomination and,
for our local register, we list
we
that
do
they're
that?
there, but I don't,
With people's names on there?
that would be a good Brian.
I think that's
that's Brian.
probably not a good idea.
It's not like it's
It'd have to be
confidential.
black, I don't know.
Yeah, most, I
I'm
mean,
just,
some, because you can find like submissions to the National Historic Register
Yeah.
online.
I'm just
It's kind of a
always
public,
worried about
Yeah, I
people's
think it's-
personal information.
I think it's a
Sure.
public
That's all.
and
document.
it's just name, address.
I know you can
Historic-
find it all there, I just don't, I just am always, that's just my.
No, but that's a good question.
Right.
That's my background.
It could be a public document, it could be legal to put it up there, but is that fair to the property owners?
Could we
You can
redact,
ask.
could we redact like the information that's not important?
Well, it's got it all throughout the form,
Yeah.
and even examples of pictures of the property, inside and out, and when you have inside, then it gets a little nervous, because people could be scoping it
Maybe, I mean, would it be valuable for us to kind of do like a mock one and show like for maybe one of these specific properties and be like, this is how we would do it?
Millwood Hotel, well, it actually was Millwood House.
But if those are things that, you can like reach out to
Yeah.
people, identify some of them might be able to help, and then maybe come back to our next meeting, and we'll just keep discussing this. But if we have someone, then, I'd be happy to reach out to Joseph and we can start getting him to do it, but again, we can't do it for him.
Right.
So I think he understood that finally.
Okay, Main Street.
Main Street program. So this is something that's come up in the last month. So the Main Street program, and I apologize that I don't have like all of the information for it, but it is a statewide program that's also under the umbrella, I think, of the kind of State Preservation Archaeology Office, the SHPO, that looks more at businesses. So whereas, National Register, local registers are homeowners that are looking for tax incentives for preservation, the Main Street looks at kind of the business owners along a Main Street and gives them an opportunity to designate some of their business taxes to go to particular projects that enhance a character of a community. And so it has to be led by business. It can't be a government. So it couldn't be the Preservation Commission that is the lead for the Main Street program. So Mayor Freeman reached out to the community. Thank you, Lisa, for being right there. So with the Community Business Association and Shireen, and because of a tight deadline, we had a Zoom meeting, and Shireen went ahead and drafted a letter
Good.
asking that Millwood be an affiliate member of the Main Street program. So that gives, several years of identifying like a board that can help direct it. And so the Main Street board would look at historical resources, architectural resources, anything that makes the community and the Main Street unique, and everybody would be working towards helping to maintain it, identify it, preserve it, promote it. And the benefit would be the businesses at least designating where some of their money goes and it comes back to the community.
That would affect you guys.
Yeah,
In a
it
good
sure
way.
would.
Other communities in this area that have been involved, been Cheney.
Yes, Jeannie.
So we're looking at maybe talking to someone that, even Tom Richardson, who was got them through the Main Street program in Cheney, and he became the city clerk and planner here that started the Preservation Commission, that he might still remember going through those steps. And so I think Shereen was talking about reaching out to him, and if approved as an affiliate member, then she would start working at kind of pulling a group together and doing more education and planning. So we just wanted to let everyone know that this was in the works. So, again, we've got what we do to help residents with tax relief and what the Main Street could help businesses.
As I pull this up, I'm getting all these Disneyland Main Street. I'm not sure that's what we're
It's a
talking
small
Yeah.
world after all.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's just the way
If
that
I-
it came up, and yeah, but anyway, yeah, kinda cool. So, tools and strategies, I don't know, but I think we saw most of that, so. Oh, membership offerings, is that what
And so
they're
it's
talking
just-
about?
Yeah, mainstreet.org. So if it's something that you want to do a little bit more research into. But this is the umbrella for Washington State. Is it a
Yeah.
federal?
No, I think it's federal,
Federal.
yeah, because these guys are in Georgia, the one was in Georgia.
But it could
So,
be something that federal money comes to Washington State, SHPO, which then is used within the state, similar to what,
To help revitalize the Main Street.
yeah. But I know about that, because my first thought was, well, federal funding, is it gonna be around?
I know, that's,
It's like, don't get involved with this because there might not be any benefits at all. But it seemed like there was a state's part of it that might be that level of protection. And as things develop, we'll just circle back and we can discuss this more, but just again, wanted to inform you that that's in the works. And then last thing under discussion items, again, as we talk about projects, it's also coming back to budget for 2026. So keeping in mind that things like the 75-year building decals, that we will need to budget for that, or if it comes out of a budget that we create for designating the historic district or the street signs, we'll also need to do that. So if there are other items of things that we need, that we could create the budget, and then Lisa will have to keep reminding me, and you guys will have to keep reminding me what's the deadline. I think it was August or September to
yeah.
have something in for approval for 2026.
Yeah. At your August meeting, you might wanna have
Finalize.
somewhat finalized, dialed in. Might be a possibility of some more minor tweaking in September, if your meeting was before the council meeting. But no, probably not, because we'd have to have everything in by then, never mind, I lied. August would be the best time. And for that, you'd want to, I think, have at least, somewhat, some documentation for the ask,
So how much the stickers would cost for 100 stickers, how much the street signs,
Get a written
number.
proposal.
If you think of any, other display materials for promotion or anything. This does not prohibit us from writing grants and getting money
No.
outside of that, but this would just be from requesting for city budget. So probably keep this on the agenda for July, and then August, if we don't have other ideas, maybe we just set aside the August meeting to create a budget.
Are there any grants out there floating around?
I've been looking for grants for other things, and it seems like a lot of grants that are like from any sort of state or federal level, there's just non-existent right now. They're just, so.
You got a grant, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I would have to I would say like private grants might be the way to go.
have said, even in other times, that this money is out there, but if you don't apply, you don't know. So there's gotta be little pockets of, cause we're not like a big spender, so.
We're not, but we'd also have to have a project that we want funded. And I don't know
Right.
that at this point we do, that we can't do
Some other way, yeah.
with maybe just city monies for at least this next year,
When is our centennial?
27.
27. So I would anticipate that we'd probably want to have a heftier budget for that, a budget ask for that year. So maybe being kind in the 2026 in anticipation of not being so kind.
Ask for more.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Good.
And it could be, and I know this isn't on the agenda, Lisa, but I know that some of the trail signs, there were only a certain number of trail signs that were generated, and then there's blanks. And so would that be something that would fall back on the Preservation Commission to follow through? To finish the trail signs, or has anybody else stepped up saying, I want that space for my fill in the blank?
I'm not sure. I know that was originally a budgeted item. Was it budgeted for all of them, or was it?
I thought it was budgeted for all of them,
I did too.
and only so many were
For
generated.
10.
Yeah, and only so many got done.
So, what was the original budget? How many were completed?
I don't know.
Was it 5, 4 or 5?
I don't know, I'd have to walk that trail
Okay,
again and say
yeah.
which ones are blank.
Yeah. So what do we have room for? So we're just generating research questions at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that could be
Where are
something
these
we
files?
put
Because I know
back
a lot of
on.
them, I worked on it, so I know there's somewhere. The one for Subway and, there were a bunch, so. I'll look at that, because I have we had kind of a shared Google Doc or Google site.
When I remember that, and when they were, one of the issues I remember Christina talking about was that when she went to get them done, that the people printing them were like, it's too much.
Yeah,
Too much information,
yeah.
because you couldn't see, didn't print
And
well.
a lot of hours
And
were
so-
spent before that could have been informed by getting to meet directly with the sign company, but they
Yeah.
weren't allowed to meet with the sign company. So there was like this whole bunch of work that went on that was pointless.
Right.
So there was some kind of logistical problems with that.
Well, I
So-
volunteer since I walk the trail almost every day, just take inventory of which ones are blank, and then can come back and see if that's something the city would like us to follow up on. And even if we redo the text that was already prepared, that we just edit it to where it does fit.
Yeah, and so for me, it'll be a big research project, because I don't know who the company was that did it. I don't know any of those things.
Well, it was history enthusiast, wasn't it, Barbara?
No, that did the printing. I don't
the printing.
know
On
who,
the signage.
I don't know who did it. I don't know. And how to find out the budget from then is going to be really difficult now.
Okay.
Would it be in past meeting minutes that will be accessible to one of us? I'm not volunteering, but someone on our team that can look it up.
I'll find somebody who was involved with it would know.
Yeah, some things, yeah, things
Or
are
if you
a
have
little bit
any in your email.
crazy.
Well, we'll kind of put that on,
Yeah,
back on our things to look into, because, why have blank? The signs are installed, I mean, the hardware's installed, it just would take something to put the sign on it.
Yeah.
It would probably lead to less defacement and less resources from our public works going over that defacement.
If we had something,
Yeah.
that was nice there.
Notice how the signs are not defaced.
But yeah, you get tags on the blank. All right, commissioner comments. None? All right, so our next meeting will be, that's not July 4th, but it will be, I think, the
Probably not. Let's see.
meeting will be July 14th at 2 o'clock here.
Gosh,
Nothing else?
July. How is that possible?
Why not the seventh?
That's the first.
July
Monday of
14th.
July.
you can meet.
What's the second?
The second Monday,
It starts on.
Oh, we're the second?
the second Monday.
The second Monday is the 14th. July 14th. Oh, that's Flag Day or something. No, that's June.
All right, if that is all, then entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Better, 3:08.
Good job, everyone.